So today, we are making what is considered to be one of the oldest recipes that hail from Spain, and a dish that's very unknown, except for the folks where it hails from, which is the beautiful region of Aragon. We're talking Recao de Binéfar. This is basically a stew made with white beans, rice, and potatoes. And let me tell you, considering how simple this dish is, it truly has so many great flavors to it. But the best part, it's made with very affordable ingredients, and it comes together in just 40 minutes. Folks, this is the perfect dish for any time of the year, but it's extra special during the cold weather, as with each spoonful, it's going to completely warm your soul. This video is sponsored by Tienda.com. You know that Tienda is an online superstore focusing on selling all things Spain for your home and kitchen, and they've been around since 1996. And like I always tell you, they have such an amazing selection of artisan Spanish ingredients like queso manchego, the famous jamón serrano and jamón ibérico, the beautiful canned seafood from Spain, Marcona almonds, olives, and all the spices you need to make all your favorite Spanish dishes, among so many other ingredients. And let me tell you, when it comes to paella pans, they have a huge selection of authentic ones that range in size from 2 servings all the way up to 50 servings. And they even offer classic grilling systems, that way you can always perfectly cook your paella. Folks, visit Tienda.com, let them know Albert from Spain on a Fork sent you there, and make sure you use coupon code ONFORK during checkout for 10% off your order. Alright, let's just dive right into this recipe. I'm going to heat a stock pot with a medium heat and add in 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 45 milliliters. Of course, you can use whatever oil you have on hand, it's just extra virgin, it's what's typically used in Spain. After a couple minutes, I'm going to add in 1 medium-sized onion that I finely chopped, and 4 cloves of garlic that I roughly chopped. And we'll mix the ingredients around, that way they're coated in that olive oil, and we're just going to lightly saute them between 3 to 4 minutes. After about 4 minutes, and the onion is nice and translucent, I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of hot smoked Spanish paprika, which is 2 1/4 grams. And we'll give it a quick mix, that way the paprika is evenly coating the garlic and onion. And let me tell you, this hot paprika not only adds a beautiful flavor to the stew, but also a nice spicy kick. You'll find a link where you get the one I'm using for this recipe in the description box below. Then we'll add in 2 15.5-ounce cans of white beans, which is 440 grams each, and I did drain the beans into a colander beforehand and rinse them under some cold running water. And we'll also add in between 5 to 6 cups of vegetable broth, which is between 1200 to 1400 milliliters. Traditionally, water is used to make this recipe. I just prefer to use the broth as it adds a deeper depth of flavors. You'll find a link on how to make my homemade broth in the iCard above and description box below. Then we'll turn up the heat to a high heat and season everything with sea salt, freshly cracked black pepper, and 1 bay leaf. And we'll give it a gentle mix and bring it to a boil. In the meantime, let's start getting the rest of our ingredients ready. I'm going to cut 2 medium-sized potatoes that have been peeled, washed, and patted dry, each one into bite-sized pieces that are 1 centimeter thick, which is between 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick. The secret, make sure they're all similar in size, that way all the potatoes evenly cook. And we'll also reserve 1/2 cup of long grain rice, which is about 100 grams. For this recipe, you don't want to rinse the rice underwater, otherwise it's going to lose its starch, which is one of the elements that helps thicken up this stew. Alright, let's move back to the stock pot. Once that broth comes to a boil, I'm going to add in the pieces of potato, and we'll give it a gentle mix and bring it back to a boil. Once it comes back to a boil, we'll add in the 1/2 cup of rice, and we'll give it 1 final mix, that way everything's well mixed together. Then we'll place the lid on the stock pot, and we'll lower it to a low-medium heat, and we're going to simmer this between 15 to 20 minutes. This is enough time for all the flavors to develop and for those potatoes and rice to be perfectly cooked through. After about 20 minutes, I'm going to remove the lid from the stock pot, And at this point, all the ingredients should be cooked through. You know, you can always pierce the potatoes with a toothpick, and if it easily goes in there, they are ready to go. And as for the rice, you're looking for plump grains. If you see that your ingredients need a bit more time, you simmer this for a couple more minutes. In my case, this stew is ready to go. I'm going to remove the stock pot from the heat, transfer some of the stew into a shallow bowl, and we'll garnish it with some fresh parsley. Check it out, Recao de Binéfar, a beautiful bean stew from the region of Aragon, but more specifically from the northern part of the region, which is known as Alto Aragon, which borders with France. Easy to make, affordable ingredients, and all done in just 40 minutes. Let's give it a try and see how it turned out. I'm telling you, today we are in for a treat as the aromas in the kitchen are absolutely delicious. Here we go. It is so good, nice and hearty, and it instantly warms your soul. It's another one of those dishes where less is more and simplicity meets extraordinary. You know what's funny about this dish is that it hails from the region of Aragon, like I told you earlier, which is famously known for their meats, but this dish right here, naturally vegan. Folks, give it a try. Serve it next to a crunchy baguette and a bottle of Spanish red wine, more specifically from the beautiful wine region of Cariñena. You're gonna have yourself an instant trip to beautiful Spain. Real quick before I go, shout out to a couple of my patrons, Alan Sanchez, Kevin Moran, Richard Esby, Lisa Larea, and Marco Steenbergen. And guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, as it really helps out the channel. Leave me a comment below. And as always, don't forget to share this video with your family and friends. That way our Spain on a Fork community can continue to grow. Till the next time, hasta luego. Another amazing unknown recipe. I'm telling you, I told my mom about it. She had never even heard of it. So sad. Now you know about it. Give it a try. Gotta go.